Coming up on your weekly dose of theme park news, we're going to be looking at a brand new Gerstlauer Eurofighter coming to the USA. Mack Rides are set to build a 200-foot tall roller coaster in China. We'll be having a closer look at that. And we've also got some smaller news from King's Dominion, PortAventura and London Paramount Entertainment Resort. My name's Shawn Sanbrooke, this is Theme Park Worldwide the show, and that means it's time to cue those titles. Welcome to this week's episode of the show. Hope you've all had a fantastic week then. The school holidays have kicked in now. Summer's in full force. However, looking at the weather outside there, it doesn't look too great. But don't let the summer holidays put you off visiting the parks. There's also loads of special events going on at the parks over the summer period. You've got later ride closes, so it is a good time to go. Yes, you might not get on as many rides at some of the parks with it being summer holidays, but there's a lot of extra stuff to make it worthwhile going, so make sure you do keep sending in your pictures for our segments here on the show from all the different summer trips you're doing at the parks. As a few of you noticed last week, I was quite tired after the trip to Efteling. As you probably saw if you've seen both part 1 and 2 of the vlog, it was a very tiring trip, very energetic trip for both me and Dean, and it was great to see. I hope you enjoyed the review last week of Baron 1898 as well, or Akhenaten as I like to call it. But yeah, it was a fantastic ride, and yes, I was very tired. The show was filmed literally after getting back from the airport, so as you can imagine, it was a tiring trip. If you've not seen both parts of the vlog, it's one of the best ones yet. So many funny moments, and of course we saw the park for the first time, the beautiful Efteling. It was beautiful, and yes, so thank you very much for all the positive feedback on the vlog. I know you all enjoyed it, and if you've not seen it, make sure you check it out, as it's really worthwhile in doing so. Right, lots to get on with then this week, so let's get straight in with our news off the rails. Now, Mack Rides is a company that dates back over 230 years. They're from Germany. They also own the Europa Park in Rust, Germany, and it's a company that's developed so much over the years. Of course, they've always been famous for smaller roller coasters, powered roller coasters, dark rides, flume rides, and then in 2009, Blue Fire opened at Europa Park, and that was the start of them with some new technology. Of course, they put in the LSM launch, the Blue Fire technology as it's known, and also Mack Mega Coasters, and of course, they flew out all across the world. There's loads of them now. You've got Manta at SeaWorld San Diego, Helix, so many of these rides, Alpina Blitz at Nederland, which has got a lift hill, and this new ride I'm going to talk to you about now has also got a lift hill, but there's something exciting about this. It's Mack's first ride to go over 200 feet, which of course makes it a Mack hypercoaster. Now, whether they're going to announce it as a hypercoaster or not is sort of unsure, but they could do, because 200 foot does mean it is a hypercoaster. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with this one. Where's it going to be located, I hear you all ask? Well, unfortunately, it's going to be over in China. So for us here in the UK and Europe, it's going to take a little bit of effort to get out there. It's actually going to be located at Lure Adventure in China, a park that I've never heard of, but I look forward to getting out there to China one day in a few years' time, seeing it all and experiencing some of these little gems of amusement parks. There's supposed to be some great stuff out there. Well, they must be if they're getting a massive Mack ride. As a lot of you know, I love Mack rides. They're so smooth. You know, they have the lap bar restraints instead of having the over the shoulders, so you're quite free, quite loose on their rides, and that's what I really do like. Let's talk about this exciting development then, which I love the sound of. So their brand new hypercoaster, Lightning, it's got a capacity of 1,040 riders an hour, which is good. It's not the best, but it's going to be decent for having 2 trains, 6 cars per train. Riders are going to be arranged 2 across in 2 rows for a total of 24 riders. So the ride itself, 4,176 feet long. Wow, that is a long coaster. It's going to be great. The fact that you're going to be on a Mack ride for that long is fantastic. In fact, I'll show you this little image actually. That there is how the that whole image there, it can't even fit my head in, is going to be that coaster. It looks absolutely awesome. It's in construction, which I'll show you some pictures of in a few moments. But yes, one long ride. It's got a height of 200 foot, a drop of 190 foot, inversions. It's got 2 inversions, so what you've got on there, you've got a 0G roll and of course a loop. This loop's going to be absolutely humongous. It's going to be one of the largest loops out there in the world, and with their Mack sort of restraints, it's going to be fantastic. I can't wait to experience this one day and just see other people on it and hear the reviews. We know it's going to be a great ride, but how good is it going to actually be? Is it going to be up there as one of the top coasters, or is it just going to be a really good coaster? So we'll have to see with that one. Duration of just over 2 minutes, 71 miles per hour, so it's a fast ride. It's got a G-force of 4.2 G. Look forward to seeing this when it's complete. Let's have a little look then at some construction images from Lightning. So there you go, there's a couple of images. You can see you've got the nice red track there. Personally, I quite like the colour scheme. I don't think it's as nice as Blue Fire's, but it certainly looks nice. It's quite vibrant. I do like that in a coaster. Hopefully it'll have a nice soundtrack, maybe onboard audio and lighting. We'll have to see with that one when it gets announced from the park. But it looks really good. Looking forward to seeing it complete. Another image there, what you can see of the ride. And yeah, it's looking good. It's come as a bit of a surprise, this one. It's not really that well known. That's why I thought I'll tell you about it today in the show and see what you guys make of it. Anybody that's experienced a Mack Mega Coaster like Helix or Blue Fire will know just how beautiful the rides are. They're so smooth, you know, and they age really well as well, especially Blue Fire. It's a few years old now and it's aging really well, which is good to see. Look forward to seeing this when it's complete. That's Lightning, which is going to be opening over in China. Moving over to the US then, with another brand new ride, this one from Gerstlauer. Now Gerstlauer have been flying them rides out there all across the world. Obviously they're reliable, they're cheap, and they do the job. So a bit, well I say cheap, they're cheaper than other manufacturers available, a lot cheaper than Mack, I know that. But yeah, these rides have been coming out there. Now this isn't the biggest Gerstlauer coaster to open, but it's not the smallest either. It looks quite a nice little ride. So it's opening at Adventureland, which is in Lower in the USA. It's going to open in 2016 next year and it's called Monster. So the ride's 2,500 foot long, so it's a good length to it, it's quite good. 133 foot tall, 5 inversions, 101 degrees vertical angle, which is quite good there, loving that. Elements then to this ride. So what have you got? You've got a vertical chain lift hill, a dive loop, an overbank turn, a standard loop, a dive loop, an Immelman and a corkscrew as well. So you've got some great elements making up this ride. Now a lot of you do know I'm not massive fans of Gerstlauer coasters. I don't think they age very well. I find them quite rough. I find the restraints to be quite restrictive. But there's a lot of people out there that do like Gerstlauer coasters as well. This looks great. It's not quite the Gerstlauer Hypercoaster at Hansa Park, but I'm sure it's going to be a nice ride to get out there and try one day. I'm sure there's a lot of people who watch the show in the US. If you are going to ride it next year, make sure you let us know what you think so we can review it here on the channel. Enough of me talking about it then. Here's a little bit of footage of this ride in action, as you can see from some of the promotional stuff from the park. Looks quite nice, this recreation of the ride. And of course, when it's finished, we'll be sure to show you a POV here on the show. Here's a little look then at the brand new Gerstlauer coaster, which is coming to Adventureland in Lower USA. Looks really nice there. Like I say, I'm not normally a big fan of Gerstlauer coasters, but the layout of that looks quite nice and it's also pretty compact. So looking forward to seeing that when it's done. Anybody who's going, make sure you show us some construction images because I'd be interested in following that one and seeing how it comes out. Moving on then to King's Dominion, already home to a fantastic selection of roller coasters. However, they are set to remove one in August next month. They're removing their Togo stand-up coaster. Now Togo, you know, they've got a reputation out there for their rides, what they do for being rough. Quite a lot out there in Japan, China way. But yeah, they're an interesting company to say the least. They're removing their stand-up coaster Shockwave. It's going to be closed on August the 9th, so you've just got a couple of weeks to go if you want to get out there and ride this beautiful stand-up Togo coaster. It's been operating since 1986, 50 miles per hour, one inversion, which is just a standard loop on that. And it seems, obviously King's Dominion is owned by Cedar Fair, but it seems that Cedar Fair are removing a lot of their stand-up coasters. Obviously, obviously Shockwave's closing here at King's Dominion. You have Mantis, which has been converted to a floorless coaster, Rougarou, at Cedar Point. So it looks like they're removing them. It's a shame to see, but it just made the very own Shockwave at Drayton Manor quite even more unique. The more stand-up coasters that close, of course, Shockwave at Drayton Manor still standing and running well. I like the stand-up coasters. Yes, they're a faff for a park, and I can see why they want to remove them. B&M aren't really selling many more either, but you can see why they're a faff for the park. They take ages. Anybody who's been on Shockwave will know that's probably one of the only stand-up coasters they've done. You know, the way them restraints are done, it takes up time. And to be fair, stand-up coasters, they're a nice concept, but they're not anything amazing. They hurt quite a bit, especially on the lower parts of the body. But yeah, they're a good ride. They're a good ride, but I can see why it's coming out. So we'll have to see what happens with this one when it shuts. What's going to happen to it? I assume it's going to be completely removed. I can't see them converting it into anything else, especially with it being Togo. But we'll have to see with that one. Moving on then to the next bit of news, and that's from Portaventura. A bit of sad news really, and that's on Ferrariland, the brand new third theme park to open at Portaventura. We're set to be opening next year. Of course, it's their third gate. You had Portaventura Park, Costa Caribe Aquatic Park, and this was going to be the third park. It's going to be opening in 2017 now instead of 2016, which is a shame. It's going to be home to over a 300-foot tall Intamin accelerator coaster themed to Ferrari. It's going to be similar to what you can see out at Ferrari World, basically, in Abu Dhabi. It's going to be similar to that, but more outside, obviously, with the Spanish climate. It's going to have a bit of an Italian theme as well. But yeah, it's not going to be opening for another year. It's a shame, but we'll go next year and see some construction updates. I love Portaventura. I can't wait to be back in October, actually, this year. A little exclusive for you there. But yeah, it's going to be nice to see when it does open. And we'll see how Portaventura can deal with that. Third gate for the park. It's getting big, it's getting into a huge resort, and I look forward to following the developments at Portaventura with that one. Moving on then to our final small bit of news, and that's from London Paramount Entertainment Resort. Obviously, it's opening in Kent. It's set to open in 2020, if all goes to plan. There's still public consultations and all that sort of stuff going on at the moment. I know they're doing sort of things down at the local Blue Water shopping centre down in Kent. Sort of showing people the plans and what they want to do. The size of this still concerns me a little, how big it's going to be. But they have purchased their first 18 acres of land. 18 acres is better than nothing, but this is what they need to buy. Show you this image here. So what's in red there, that's what they've just purchased, and the rest of all that in green is what they want to purchase. One thing we've noticed actually, me and Jack from the vlogs, it's shaped like Paramount's logo if you look at the size of it. Whether that's intentional or not, obviously it's probably not, but I think it's quite a nice little touch if it does get round to being built. How the Swanscombe Peninsula, where it's been built, is the size, well, the shape of Paramount's logo. There you go. That's all the news off the rails. Then this week, it's time for Guess the Coaster.
Like a roller coaster, move and shake me side to side. Yes, then I know, but I make it right. Like a roller coaster.
So it's time for yet another Guess the Coaster. Wow, I know you're all loving this section here on Theme Park Worldwide, the show. I love bringing it to you guys. Like I say, I'm going to be spicing it up soon. We're going to be moving away from the coasters and doing some more flat rides and dark rides and stuff. But you still got a few more coasters to guess first. But yes, what was it 2 weeks ago? It was Arthur in the Minimoys Kingdom at Europa Park. Bit of an easy one for you there. Moving on to sort of what we're going to be doing for the dark ride, some sound effects and stuff from the rides. But you can just hear Arthur in the background there. What is it this week? It is still a roller coaster. Remember, it's just for fun. It's time for this week's Guess the Coaster. Stop. Bit of a longer one for you, one of the longer ones that I've done. I'm sure a lot of you will get this one. It's quite a nice ride to sort of guess this one, so we'll see what you think. All you need to do is comment below, and I'll reveal it to you in next week's episode of Theme Park Worldwide, the show.
Questions, questions, questions everywhere.
Questions everywhere. Okay, I'll stop singing. We don't want it to rain anymore. Come on, it's supposed to be summer. Where's the sun? But yes, it's time for Ask Me Anything, the part of the show where I get 4 questions sent in. This is the first time where I look at them, and then I'll answer them here for you on the show. Bit of a Q&A session, really, but let's have a little look at what's been sent in then this week. Question number 1 is from William Syme. What lighting effects would you like to see added to any UK theme park rides? Ooh, some really good questions. I'm loving them. So lighting effects, obviously a lot of you might know that I do a bit of DJing in my spare time as well. Used to do it a lot more before theme parks took over completely. But what lighting effects? Well, I love what Blackpool Pleasure Beach do with the big one. They used to have strobes running all the way up the lift hill, so I'd like to see that reinstated more than anything. I think Blackpool's one of the only parks that stays open late enough, to be honest, to do it. But I'd like to see that. Stealth at Thorpe Park as well. I think you could do something really good with lighting. A bit like if you ever seen Leesburg Vlog, the Ferris wheel has all sorts of twinkling lights on it. Stealth, you could put little lights all the way around it and it could look really special. Obviously make sure it's done safe, so it's in between the track and not actually on the rails. But yeah, I think that'd be great to see. Really good question, thanks for that one. But in general, I think lighting is something what needs to be improved on a lot of the UK parks. Compared to what I've seen out there in Europe, you know, we could do it a lot better, so we'll have to see on that one. Thanks for your question. Next one is from Eddie Ravenhill. What's your favourite roller coaster element? Wow, I absolutely love airtime. So it's going to be a camelback element, much like on Shambhala. I know I talk about it a lot, but not just Shambhala, anything that's got good airtime. So like the camelback on Shambhala, just after the ampersand, that is a brilliant element for me. I absolutely love it. And I'd love to see that implemented on more rides, definitely. Good to see some airtime on the coasters, so thanks for that. David Alexander, if any UK park got a hyper or giga coaster, what park would it benefit the most? Wow, Thorpe Park. They could really benefit from a B&M hypercoaster, or maybe now a Mack hypercoaster if it takes off over in China. But yeah, I'd love to see Thorpe get one. I could just see it on the skyline. I think it'd be a beautiful ride, and if any park was going to get it, it would be Thorpe. They're due another coaster in the next couple of years, after the massive dark ride for next year, of course. But we'll have to see what goes on at Thorpe Park there. I think it would benefit them a lot, definitely. Mini Shambhala. Oh, same scale Shambhala. It'd be great to see. Thanks for that. And then Lisa, do you watch on-ride videos before you go on a new ride, or do you surprise yourself? Really good question. Well, I'm a bit funny with this one, because obviously I'm going to California in less than, well, about a month and a half's time. But yeah, I do watch them. I know some of you might think, what, you're ruining it, but seeing it on video isn't as good as being on the actual ride. Yes, it's good to get an insight. Of course, you might have seen my Baron 1898 content, full experience. Yes, you get the full experience, but I don't think it spoils it, because when you're there in person, you're seeing it for real, not behind a screen, and it's great to see. So yeah, really good question. But yes, I do watch them. Dark rides, however, I'm a little bit different on, because I love my dark rides, sometimes even more than coasters. As you know, I'm more of a theme park enthusiast, not just the roller coasters. I love the whole park, the shows, the theme and the ambience. But yes, definitely, I will watch them. If it's a dark ride, maybe not. But thanks for your question, really good one. If you've got anything you want to ask me in these Q&A sessions, all you need to do is tweet it in at themeparkww, or send it as a private message on the Theme Park Worldwide Facebook page. Me and Charlotte, the Theme Park Worldwide admin, look forward to hearing from you. So it's time for Merch Paradise. Before I have a little look at what you guys have sent in for me this week on the show, I'm going to show you something a little bit different this week. Cue the music. Well, it's not really music, is it? It's me doing it. But yes, it's this. It's the Walt Disney World First Visit Badge. They do this at quite a lot of the Disney parks. So they give you a badge, basically when it's your first visit. They'll also do them for anniversaries and birthdays. But this leads me on, it's a nice item, but it's more about the idea behind it that I like. Why can't more parks do this, especially over here in the UK, some in Europe as well? Why can't they do it? It makes, you know, such an experience. If you've watched the Magic Kingdom vlogger when I first went in and got this, you know, it was such a really nice special moment, something that I'll always remember from that first trip to Walt Disney World in Florida. You know, and it's really nice that they did it, and obviously I've kept it pride of place here at the World of Theme Parks. Why can't more parks do that? I think it'd be great if they could do. So yeah, there you go, more parks. If you're watching, because we know you watch, make sure you do that. It'd be great to see. I think it'd be a really good, nice thing to do at the theme parks over here. Moving on then, let's have a little look at what you guys have sent in for Merch Paradise. Quite a bit this week, so let's have a look. So you've got Rick Cat. Okay, mugs from many different theme parks. There you go. Thanks for that, Rick Cat. Loving what you've got. Chris Beck, mug and resin collection. Ooh, you got some good stuff there. Love the resins. I hope more parks do these resins in the future. They're great to see. So thanks for that. Amusement Park Info's got some merchandise from Dreamland, so thank you for that. The Toast Ghost, I'm loving some of these names, awesome. The Toast Ghost Disney World Florida mug from 1995. I'm a bit jealous, I've not got that mug. But thanks for sending in a picture. I love seeing some of the unique merchandise out there that I've probably not seen before. Great to see. Matthew Wakefield's got a map collection from many different theme parks. That is a big map collection. I've also got loads. I've got about 5 boxes full of maps, plastic containers, but I love keeping them. They're great to see, so thanks for that. Luke Hipchman, Walt Disney World merchandise. As I was saying, just for Disney World, they do some fantastic little touches at Disney parks, especially Walt Disney World in Orlando. So thanks for that brilliant collection, great to see. If you've got any merchandise, I'm sure you know the drill by now. All you need to do is tweet them in at ThemeParkWW or send them as a private message on the Theme Park Worldwide Facebook page. It's also worth getting onto our Facebook page this week over the next couple of days, as up until this Friday, you can enter our brand new competition to win some merchandise from the F-Telling, including an exclusive Hardwell remix of Baron 1898 CD, Mack from the park and a few other bits as well. So make sure you do check that out on the Theme Park Worldwide Facebook page. You can find it by going onto Facebook, just typing in Theme Park Worldwide with gaps, and then you will find it on there. Drop us a like and then you'll see the competition and all our live updates when we go to the parks. You'll also be first to find out about the show and any vlogs that go online here on the channel. So it's time for Interact With Me, the final section of Theme Park Worldwide, the show. It's been a long one this week, action-packed. Great to see so many items being sent in for me here on the show as well. So without further ado, let's have a little look at what's been sent in this week for me. It's Alex Foster, a photo with me at the turnstile. So thank you very much for that. If you do see me, make sure you say hi, have a photo, and then it can be here on the show. So thanks for that. Joe Robinson's got a Swarm on-ride photo, so thanks for that. Tom Wilson's got a photo on the front of Stealth at Thorpe Park. I love Stealth to pieces. I'd love it even more if there was some lighting on it, if you'd saw or asked me anything earlier on. Reese Langham's got a photo with me also at the turnstiles. Thank you very much for that. Bailey Gilly's got a photo also with me at Alton Towers. It's great to meet all the fans of Theme Park Worldwide out there. I love doing this, I thrive off it, and it's great to meet you all and hear some feedback. I'm glad you love it. I'm always open for feedback. It's great to see. Feedback means improvement, so thanks for that. Next up, you got Robert Smith, his 2-year-old daughter, Elena, with Mickey Mouse at Disneyland. Love Disney parks, love Mickey Mouse. Mickey's just amazing. I love Mickey. Can't wait to go and meet him again over at Anaheim, so it's going to be good to see. Thanks for that. Happy birthdays now. Happy birthday to Jaden. Hello out there. Thank you for watching Theme Park Worldwide. Happy birthday to Will Hughes. Hope you have a good one. I hope you enjoy the channel and have a great day. You got Daniel Jackson with a Stealth on-ride photo. There you go, thanks for sending that in. Loads this week. Matt Mitchell, you've got Matt, Steve, Jazz and Jordan with me at the turnstiles at Alton Towers. I remember meeting you guys earlier in the week. What a great bunch of people. I had a fantastic day at the park and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks for the awesome photo and sending it in for me here on the show. Lawrence Bennett, final one, has got a Nemesis on-ride photo. That's all then for Interact With Me, and that sums up the show for this week. Hope you've enjoyed it. It's been action-packed, loads of news, loads of interaction, and make sure, I'll say it one more time, make sure you tweet them in at ThemeParkWW on Twitter or as a private message on our Facebook page. Let's go for record numbers next week. Send in as many photos as you can for us on the show. It's summer. I'm happy, you're happy, get out there to the parks, and I'll see you next week. Of course, coming up, we've got some fantastic on-ride POVs on the channel this week. It's going to be awesome, leading up to next weekend, not this weekend coming up, the following weekend, where we're going to be at Oakwood for the yearly Welsh Weekender with the European Coaster Club. It's going to be great to see, can't wait to experience it, and of course, get back on Megaphobia for 1 hour's ERS. There'll be a vlog, you got myself, Lee, Charlotte, Chris, Steve and Dave. It's going to be absolutely fantastic, can't wait to bring it to you here on the channel. Thanks for watching then, I'll see you next week. My name's Shawn Sanbrooke, this was Theme Park Worldwide the show, and that means it's time to cue those credits. See you later guys, have a great week.